I am Cantor Naftali Hershtik, and Taped with Rabbi Doug is next.
We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug on your TV tonight.
But Daddy, I want to watch Monday Night Football.
Forget about Monday Night Football. There's no other thing we're gonna watch on Monday but Rabbi Doug. Yeah, Rabbi Doug on TV tonight. We're gonna see Rabbi Doug. Oh, everybody talk about Doug.
Shalom and welcome to Taped with Rabbi Doug. We're here today for the dedication of the new building for Congregation Shaarei Tzedek, now known as Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair, and I'm here with Bruce Leon. Welcome, Bruce.
Thank you, Rabbi.
The building is now dedicated in memory of his mother, Eileen C. Leon of blessed memory. And Bruce, how did it come about that you decided to make this great donation and act of tzedakah to dedicate this building in her memory?
Well, you should probably remember, Doug, we've had a minion across the street for about 12 years.
In a little storefront?
A little storefront, and we identified this building as being one that would be perfect for our shul.
Now, this used to be a Barnabys non-kosher restaurant.
Barnabys Pizza and Pub. Yes, you get a beer and a pizza, and everybody would engrave their name on the benches here. It was a kind of a cult place, for the truth. And the owner was an older guy who owned it originally, and this was also the corporate headquarters. And Nati Simon was the president and sort of founded the shul with me. We would come in here almost monthly to talk to the guy about selling the business. And at first he wanted to sell the business and the land, and we had no interest in a great pizza restaurant, of course. But finally, his business was really so slow and so nominal that he finally called us one day and said, if you give us $1 million, $1 million a week, I'm going to retire to Florida. And we had to really scramble to get all 40 members to co-sign a loan. And we eventually did pull it off. It was only 2 weeks before Rosh Hashanah when we finally secured this building.
And it's unbelievable. The construction, the rebuilding, the work and the beauty of the inside of the building, of course, is amazing compared to the wooden slats that went through the building and the little numbers for the waitresses that were hanging there. And it went from a very dark building now to a very bright building, and you've really done a beautiful job.
Yeah, it was really, we spent all our money on buying the building. It was really the good grace of Dr. Yahav. Dr. Yahav came, and obviously through his generosity, we were able to actually build the building. And for about 5 years, we were actually using the original restaurant as our shul, and you could still smell the pepperoni pizza in the walls for many years. And it was quite dark, but we really had to wait till we got the money to do the renovation, and it came out better than any of us could have expected.
Very good. And your building is sort of split into two now. Chicago Torah Network has the smaller part of the building, and you've turned the larger part of the building into Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair. And I wish you much success with your congregation. Your mother's memory, Eileen C. Leon, should be a memory that brings Elias Neshama and Simcha to the whole community.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you, Bruce Leon, and stay with us here on Tape with Rabbi Doug as we prepare now for the dedication of the Torah, the speeches, and all the festivities here at Congregation Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair.
I'm Rabbi Akiva Tetz, and you're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
Yisrael. You're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
We're here at Congregation Shaarei Tzedek as we dedicate the building, the new Torah scroll, and I'm here with Yigal Yahav. The building is being named in memory of her uncle Yair, who passed away, and her father is dedicating this building in his memory. Ariella, how long ago did your uncle pass away?
About 20 years ago.
About 20 years ago. So before you were even born.
Yeah.
Yeah. And tell me something. What made your father decide to get involved in this congregation, which he isn't really even close to as far as living there and attending regularly? Why did he decide that this congregation was a place he wanted to put your uncle's name on?
My dad's involved with a lot of the shul community, and he wanted to name, because we like to my brother Yair, he wanted to name a congregation after it. That's what his goal was.
And has there been anybody in the family named after your uncle yet?
No.
Any children? No. So tell me something. As far as Congregation Shaarei Tzedek goes now, do you think that your father now feels like he's fulfilled his mission in dedicating something to the memory of your uncle, whereas he's made other donations in memory of your uncle as well?
I think this is something like dad was able to have shown my uncle.
Very nice. Well, this is a great mitzvah for you and your family. I want to wish you mazel tov, and we're going to go join in some more of the festivities here on Taped with Rabbi Doug.
I'll tell us, in Morin Parafil it says, referencing this week's parsha, the first words he say in shul every morning, Matay V'olach Yaakov Mishkan Yisrael, but those words come from Bilam. Amar B'lazam B'chasu Shalosa Rasha, for the bracha of that Rasha, after you did, I believe we know what I really want to see, because every bracha that he said really wanted to make it a curse. Bikesh Shlomo L'Yelam Bati Knesios, he wanted that there should be no more shuls, but Bati Midrashos, and Bati Midrashos places to learn. Amar, so instead of his bracha turned into bracha Matay V'olach Yaakov. Bikesh Shlomer L'Tishra Shechina L'Yisrael, he wanted there should be no Shechina in the midst of Klal Yisrael, and he said Mishkan Yisrael. We should be zeichet to continue to be Kadashim Shemayim. We should be zeichet to fill this Mikdash Ma'at with Kedusha, with Tefillah, with Torah that is appreciated by the Baruch Shalom for the mysterious numbers that we all put into it. And should be zeichet, as Chazal tell us, that the Sidi Bati Knesiyot, Bati Midrashos, Shabbat that all the shuls and all the Bati Midrashos and Chutzlaretz, when I bought my house, I felt a little bit guilty. But building a shul, we don't have to feel guilty about it, because Chazal tell us that they will be brought to Eretz Yisrael. We should be zeichet that this shul, as soon as it's finished, even before we are not 100% finished, should be transported quickly to Eretz Yisrael. The Meir remained with the Bias Gol Tzedek.
I'm Peter Yarrow of Peter, Paul, and Mary, sometimes known as Puff the Magic Dragon, and I'm hiding the great face of Rabbi Doug. Watch him, Rabbi Doug. It's a wonderful show.
Our Bilam is his eye love, his evil eye. He used to gaze at something and he would see all the weaknesses of that person or of that ummah. He'd be able to look through something and see the ra. He'd see the evil that's found in everything, and then he would be able to say a klala. But when he looked at Bati Knesias or Bati Midrashos, there was no ra, it was kulei ra. Everything had a little bit of ra, so it's possible that Bilam's brachas could turn into klala. But Bati Knesias or Bati Midrashos, it's kulei taif. Kulei taif, only bracha. And it's impossible that anything, no ra can come from what you can see as of what the Midrashos. So Baruch Hashem, your Zoicha, your Tehillah Zoicha to such a beautiful new edifice, a beautiful new shul, such a Kiddush Hashem, such a wonderful fulfillment of Zed Keled Amveyu. It's Kulei Toiv, Kulei Bracha. It's Batik to see us about the Midrashos, and recently we see that the most successful shuls today, the most successful shuls in all the Orthodox communities are shuls that are a combination of Batik to see us about the Midrashos. And there's always Limud HaTorah. If you're together with Tefillah and together with Chesed, of course Chesed, Klal Yisrael exists on Tefillah, Klal Yisrael exists on Chesed, but together with Tefillah and Chesed, there's the Batik to see us about the Midrashos. So the hearts of all Chicago Orthodox Jewry are filled with pride on today's Achnosas Sefer Torah and today's beautiful renaming of this beautiful new shul. Our hearts are filled with pride. And Shaarei Tzedek, the growth of Shaarei Tzedek is not only growth for the West Rogers Park community, it's growth for the entire Jewish community. That this new shul represents the growth of Torah and Yiddishkeit in the entire Chicago community and the entire Orthodoxy in America, Baruch Hashem. So let there be always Shira and always Simcha in Shaarei Tzedek, in Rabbi Gross's family, by Dr. Yahav. It's such a schus, Dr. Yahav. It's such a schus to not dedicate the second Sefer Torah in memory of his brother. What a schus for Dr. Yahav and for his family. That there always be Shira, there always be Simcha in Dr. Yahav's family. And all of you gathered today, together with the entire Chicago Jewry, should be zocheh constantly in your lives only to Simcha Satayra, to Shira Satayra. And let us be mispalel that Achenu Bnei Yisrael, our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael, and throughout the entire world, should always be zocheh to Yeshuas and Achonos and Simchas, and it should always be Simcha Satayra, it should always be Shira Satayra, and altogether we should be Mesameach until that great day when the Evangelim will transport, like the Rav said, all the Batik Nesias, Bat Midrashas, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, and all of us will be Mesameach and rejoice together, B'binyan Siyam Yerushalayim.
How people are involved in seeking out a livelihood, especially in these very difficult economic times. People go to their office, to their factory, to their shop, or to whatever profession they have. They are surrounded and almost inundated, overwhelmed by different ideas, by different types of people that don't have the values of Torah and of Yiddishkeit that we hold very high. So what is in that type of environment, what does a shul represent? Also a heart. It represents like an escape where people leave the city to go to the mountains. They go to a place where the air is clean and fresh. Yiddish used to say, "Leif da weg in the bear, you run away to the mountains, hot and frische Luft." You have to get the fresh air, the clean, pristine air of the mountains that you have over there. The shul represents, in many ways, daily, and especially on Shabbos and on Yom Tov, the concept of a place where there is a clean, fresh ruach, luchnius. There's a wind, there's an air of spirituality, not only between the human being, ben adam lamokom, but also ben adam lachaver, all the values which many times in business or in other areas are thrown aside. That's the refreshing spirit of the heart. That's the way the Pastor explains that. And what does the soda represent? Soda, a field, the Yetzer Yitzchak Masur Basoda, is a concept of growth. What do you do in a field? You plant, you sow, and things grow. It takes a lot of labor to do that. When you come into a shul, it has to be, you can measure it by the growth, and especially, as explained by distinguished Rosh Yeshiva, the growth of Torah. Torah study in all aspects, no matter what the level of learning is, there is growth, just like in fields and in agriculture. There's a variety of different types of produce. All are necessary. It represents, that sort of represents growth. And the shul has to have that element of growth. And the way Yaakov Avinu described it, it's a bias. It's a place of stability. It's not a transient place where you go from place to place, some sort of a moving or a stiebel or some sort of something of that sort. This building has been made into a real bias. A bias where people can come and feel secure, feel certain, feel the strength of bitachon in Hashem, in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Because this is the place where all of the values of Torah, no matter in what area and what type of mitzvahs that we're talking about, all is inculcated here. And perhaps also the symbolism of dedicating a Sefer Torah, and also Sefer Torah represents all of that. It represents that type of stability where the Sefer Torah is placed in their own capes, in an ark, in a place where it will be stable, and this is the bias. So you have the R and the soda and the bias all combined together, which make this a Mokum Mikdash, a place which is basically dedicated to Kedusha, to sanctity, the sanctity in all respects of our lives. And if any bracha is given, and this is what I'm concluding with, is, this is the season that Rabbonim and people are saying they go to weddings. Probably a lot of people might be going to a wedding tonight or this week. Baruch Hashem, there have been a lot of chasanas, in town, out of town, and so forth. What's the bracha that we say to the chassan Mekala? To build a bias nema b'Yisrael, a trustworthy house in Israel. A shul is a bias nema. It's a house which is trustworthy. It's secure. It has all the elements of faith and of Torah, whatever you think of. And to fulfill the prophecy, what Chazal say of every shul being in Eretz Yisrael, bias nema b'Yisrael. It will be ultimately in Yisrael. We should all be zeicher. There should be a bracha to the Rav and the Balabati, all of those who have supported the building and creation of this magnificent edifice should be blessed, and it should be a bias nema b'Yisrael.
Amen. Amen. Stay tuned. Taped with Rabbi Doug will be right back.
Once they've outgrown their toddler seat, they're still not ready for adult safety belts alone. 4'9" is the magic number. Until then, kids need a booster seat. Make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely.
Hey, dum diddly dum. Oh, hi! You're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
In essence, this is another anchor to our community in large. So may HaKadosh Baruch Hu will continue to strengthen us, and we should say, like we said before, שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Today is an emotional and historical moment which reflects the ability of our extended community to achieve its goal when we all are unified and walk L'Shem Shamayim. It's clearly reflected by our Rabbanim here and Balabatim in each one of us. Today is an emotional and historical day which will be remembered by young or adults, by visitor or community members. Moments ago, we named the shul as Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair. On behalf of my family, I would like to thank Rabbi Gross and his community and to express my gratitude and say, it is truly an honor to have Yair named as an integral part of this community. Equally, this community will benefit from Yair. Yair, who was he? What were his qualities? Yair, which means, of course, will shine the light. His name clearly reflected who he is. As the fourth child of 8, Yair was not just the one to radiate a continuous light at our family, at our house, but also the one that created peace, warmth, and love. Yair was the one who knew him so well, knew that he always was the first to greet before he was greeted. He was always the first to assist before he was asked. In his definition, no person had the poor qualities, but rather at times, he was not in his best behavior. And me, being less than a year younger than him, allowed us to develop a special and close bond and warmth towards each other. I admired his motivation to never miss an early morning shir, followed by Ashkana Minyan. I admired his ability to cope with all aspects of life. His smile in good or difficult times was a true motivation, not just to me, to my family and friends, to overcome even difficult tasks in life. Later, we separated. I went on to school in the US, where Yair was in the process of finding his mate and creating a new family. A plan which fell short when in a dark, foggy night, Yair crossed the street and was taken from this world instantaneously by an unfortunate car accident. As was said, so many who knew him, we felt the absence of his kindness, happiness, and smile. His holiness and unique personality will remain in our thoughts. His motivation for good deeds to Klal Yisrael was a clear purpose to his life. Just a few days ago, when I searched through the book of Yeshayahu, which speaks about the prophecy of redemption, I interacted with a puzzle which immediately created an intense heart rate, including leading to an emotional descent of tears which fell from my eyes. And the pasuk said, "Ani Hashem keraticha betzedek, ve'achazek be'edcha, ve'etzelcha, ve'etnecha lebrit am le'or goyim." It included both words, tzedek and light. I'm God, which called you with righteousness. I'll hold your hand, strengthen you, create you to be light to the nation. Yes, Jewish people, righteousness and light transform to a highlight of the Jewish nation. It seems as if this name, Congregation Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair, was determined generations ago. May the name of Yair be carried by this congregation for years to come, and may Yair light continuously shine to excel the growth of Torah and learning and tefillah, which will lead the Biat HaMashiach b'Mehra b'Yameinu. Amen.
Hi, I'm Alderman Bernie Stone. You're watching Taped with Rabbi Doug.
Well, the festivities today have been amazing. The dedication of the Torah, the dedication of the building now, Shaarei Tzedek Mishkan Yair, and all the festivities that went into it, the dancing, the parade. Dr. Yigal Yahav, our host extraordinaire who dedicated this wonderful name of the congregation, this Torah to the congregation. Dr. Yahav, what is your next endeavor? Because you have made so many donations and dedications in the community, and this, of course, being the biggest one, having your brother of blessed memory's name included within the name of the synagogue. Do you have any other endeavors that you plan on doing for tzedakah? Because your acts of tzedakah and charity have been so amazing to this Jewish community here in West Rogers Park and the Chicago area.
Well, people who knows me know that wherever there is Torah and wherever there is Jewish studies, I am part of it. So here we are, completed one, ready to go to probably potential high schools. But wherever there is Torah, there is Yahav Torah. Very nice. Appreciate it.
Dr. Yahav, I want to wish you a mazel tov on this great simcha. Your brother's name should go down in history as a great merit to his neshama, aliyat neshama. And to all of you, I want to thank you for being with us here for the dedication of the congregation. Remember, you can check out our website, www.tvrabbi.com, where you can see our shows on the web. If you want to send us an email or contact any of our guests, remember info@tvrabbi.com, and we'll get that off to them, and I'm sure they'll get back to you. Remember, we're on every week at this time. Hope to see you next time right here on Taped with Rabbi Doug. Shalom, everyone.
Shalom.